I did go through the backtest sheet and make sure all the reps were correct, meaning like I made sure that, entry 1 R1R was correct and entry 2 R2 was correct. So basically making sure that each box was checked off correctly, as well as making sure that I documented the stats specifically for that rep correctly. So I don't recall how many we had prior to doing that, but we're now at 59 reps that are actually valid. I removed the like 6 reps that was a setup that Anya would not trade. There were also some reps where I did check off having taken entry 1, but entry 1 actually got stopped out, so I had to change that to like a stop loss and whatnot. So where we start the model today is 59 reps total. We're at a 55% win rate. Well, 55.9, not quite 56 yet. And we're averaging about 2.24R off of the actual entries. For the trade ideas alone, we're averaging around 4R. So the trade idea is from the original CISD to the original stop loss, the entire trade idea. So using the chart that I added here, a 4R idea, those entries being divided into 3 would yield a 12R, 13R, and a 14R. So doing pretty good. Good morning, Anya. Let me know if you can hop up here if you want to hop up here. No pressure. But so far so good. Looking good. Um, or I think the model is looking good as is right now. I don't think we need to make any adjustments so far. I think one of the most confusing things that we're coming across um is like the consolidations basically, right? Like when we get a sweep multiple times, usually that doesn't result in a 5-minute CISD. So it's pretty simple, just don't take it. But I think where we can get lost in that in real price action or in live price action is that we're waiting for this 5-minute CISD to occur while another sweep and a CISD against us can occur. And I think it's easy to just get blindsided in that notion. So in that case, it's very, very important to make sure that you're also utilizing your higher time frame PD arrays to kind of to give you that extra narrative, right? So you know what direction you should be seeking price to trade into. Any questions about that? I think from my audit, I think we are absolutely solid. Every single rep is correct, it's valid, and it's a true rep. There's nothing form fitted here or nothing that I accidentally marked incorrectly. There was also a set of reps that I actually forgot to put a chart in for some reason. They seem to have, gotten deleted with that audit, but everything I think is really good. Hold on, let me invite you again, Anya. I don't know why it's not letting you up. All right, so going over the rules of the model one more time. I don't believe any of you are new, but what we are looking for is a higher time frame PD array, 1 hour or more. Then as price trades into that PD array and drops back down, we are looking for a 1 hour sweep. A sweep is we originally when we were going over the definition, this we said that there was not going to be a requirement for this. But we are now finding like in life back to or like as price plays out, we're kind of seeking a sweep, and sometimes the CISD occurs up here, but the 1 hour candle doesn't close above the previous high. When we are thinking we have a sweep, that 1 hour candle does need to close below that previous high or above that previous low, okay, for it to be confirmed as a sweep. If it closes above that previous candle, like let's say, price was down here, we thought it was going to be a sweep, and then it doesn't sweep and it actually closes above it. This is, from this point, it's an invalid setup, right? So this is something that we're seeing in backtesting. After we get that 1 hour sweep, then we need a 5-minute CISD. I will be clear that sometimes the 5-minute CISD can occur way before you get below that 1 hour high. We do have some examples where we took that trade where that 5-minute CISD does occur before that high. But again, when that candle closes, that 1 hour candle that is sweeping the previous candle, when it closes, it needs to confirm that sweep. So we're not holding that trade if it doesn't confirm that sweep. I think by the time we even closed that trade, that 1 hour candle was already closed as well. So I think, or we already hit profit on our trade before that 1 hour candle confirmed or whatnot. And then at a minimum, we need a 1 hour idea. We're dividing the stop loss into three, and we have three separate entries in the form of risk sinking. Account one gets stopped out, account two enters, account two gets stopped out, account three enters. If account three gets stopped out, then the trade idea entirely is invalid, or invalidated. Does anyone have any questions? I can try to bring up an example of what I was talking about if anyone is confused. Anya, good morning. Apologies
Good
for being late
morning.
last
Don't
weekend.
want to bother.
No
Good
worries.
morning,
How's it going?
everyone. Good morning, Backtest. Jess. I missed last weekend, but was traveling a little bit. But
Oh,
I'm
no
here.
worries. I thought you missed it because I hopped on late. I actually also hopped on late at the same time, so
Oh,
no
that's
problem.
fine. No, I was out of town, so no laptop with me.
Okay, great. Well, hopefully you had a good trip.
Oh,
Um,
amazing. It was amazing.
where'd you go?
Joshua Tree.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. If you have pictures,
Yeah,
yo, share the pictures. That's awesome.
that's so beautiful. Like, I mean, desert is just special.
Yeah, breathtaking, I imagine. That's awesome. Okay. All right, so first let's start with our top down. Where we are on the daily chart, we've Friday closed above Thursday's price action. We are between these two daily volume imbalances, which are also weekly volume imbalances, I'll point out. So, oh well, this one is not. Sorry, this one is, and there's like a bigger one here. I'll show you what that looks like. We're also trading around that one. Um, So this is, let me just put this one as a weekly. Oops. And this one is also a weekly. And then on a daily basis, we have this one inside of the weekly. So Friday closed above Thursday's PA, after Thursday swept Wednesday. That's really the narrative on the daily chart. And then dropping down, first let's go to the 4 to see how we're trading inside of that weekly. So the last 4 hour candle, Friday's AM session closed very bullishly. And then, which we have like a 4 hour CISD here now. Let me delete this line. We have a 4 hour CISD here, and we've closed above the weekly VI there. And then on an hourly basis, we have just failed this high. So that's where we are in PA as we approach the 5 minute. Um, we have an inversion on the 1 hour. And on the 4, nothing. On the 4, the next order block is down here. So it's a ways away. It's basically at the bottom of this weekly volume imbalance. So we'll just keep that in mind for now until price gets there. And, well, hold on. Let me see. 4 hour is here. And 1 hour is in the same area. So notice that these order blocks I'm marking out, or that I'm pointing out, these are really obvious, unambiguous order blocks. We have big, big, beefy bodies. They've bodied below liquidity, and we've traded above them. So there's nothing ambiguous about that. It's not like a little candle or anything. It's an obvious order block, I'd say. And then even on the 1 hour basis, we bodied below liquidity. We traded above it and confirmed it. We even established a propulsion block here. So it's all pretty obvious, and there's no like guesswork in that. Um, okay, so we'll get into it here. We'll just wait and see. Again, we have this 1 hour right there. Let me open this up a little bit bigger and we'll just play it through. So first thing we need, of course, is a tap of this PD array in this 18. Okay, so this is 1800 on Sunday. It opens up. We opened above the PD array and displaced down. We'll at least play through until the next candle to see, but we do have a 1 hour sweep here. And this is, I think, would be considered forcing it, right? We opened above PA, we closed below it. It's Sunday, it's the first hour of Sunday. We do have our hourly sweep, so what the 5 minute CISD would be here. I think this is too aggressive, too quick, right? To kind of just force that idea. So I would wait for another 1 hour sweep instead of like taking a trade right there and then, um, because it gapped up and then closed down. So let's see if we get a sweep. Okay, so we go back to the 4 hour order block right away. So again, I'm just gonna play through until we get a sweep. This PDA is, oops, is a daily, I assume. Yep, it's a daily array. It's a daily fair value gap. So currently we have the 1 hour sweep here. Um, and the 5 minute CISD would occur here if we get it. This is the previous 1 hour low. So I like the area that's happening in. We tapped a daily, we tapped a 4 hour order block, and now we are getting that sweep. We just need the CISD to be confirmed. And it doesn't get confirmed. This 1 hour candle does close as a sweep. So this is what I was talking about. This is the low right here, right? So although this candle does close bearish, it does close as a sweep because it closes above it, right? So when like
Yes.
yeah, so when we're looking for this 5 minute CISD, we can still continue to seek this as long as this did close as a sweep. Now we do have the next 1 hour candle closing lower. So this does look like it closed below 50% of the wick, but it definitely closed below 50% of the previous candle all in all. So I think it's like logical to just wait here more. Anya, what do you think?
Yeah, same. Because, like, yeah, I agree that we confirmed that sweep, and if CSD happened, we would take that trade, but it didn't, so we sit on our hands. But that sweep is in play until it doesn't
Yep,
at this point.
sweet. Okay. Um, So because this candle closed, like this is just discretionary output here, but because this candle closed the way it did, I would expect the lows to get swept one more time before another CISD. So we're probably looking at another 1 hour sweep and wouldn't be looking for this CISD, but we'll see. All right, so there's that next
There you
sweep
go.
here. Yep. And if we CISD, I'd be looking at this high here. It's doji, it's fine. All right, so again, notice the example here. We swept these two previous candle lows, and where the candle closed here is above both lows. So that's a valid sweep as well. Okay, here's midnight. Maybe it sweeps it again. Okay, then. So we just keep waiting and watching. So again, this is still our daily array here. We close below all the candles here. Okay, this is a good example. All right, so Anya, what is your take on this type of PA, right? So, and this kind of
Yeah.
happens often as well, where we close below all the previous candles, right? But then the next candle trades up or creates that CISD. Is
Yeah. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Go ahead.
In this case, if like I go technical, like really technical rule, technically this what this candle is a 1 p.m. It did close below the high, below the oldest lows. Like you see the low, 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 low.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all these lows.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it did close below. So I can consider this as a sweep. And even if it does CISD right now, so by my rules, there is no trade because technically it didn't confirm the sweep. It could be a pullback at this point for any of this loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I want, if I still bullish on what I want in this case, I want to see it go up and then it go down, maybe sweep the low, and then I'll have a trade to continue higher.
Okay, perfect. That's how I was hoping you would say that, to be honest. So I'm glad you said it that way. This is a very mechanical approach. So see, she's not trying to FOMO into this trade. Just because she sees the 5 minute CISD confirmed, her 1 hour sweep was not there, so she's not taking the trade. I completely agree with
As
this
hourly
logic.
also confirmed the downside of
Mm-hmm.
being able to close below all the wicks.
Yes, exactly. So she's saying that we close below all these lows here. Again, if you can just kind of imagine the previous hours, there's a low here, a low there, a low there, and a low here, right? So these are four previous 1 hour candles that have been closed below. And this is not a sweep because we bodied below all these lows, closing down here. So the next thing that we're waiting for is just, if we're still looking for upside, we're looking for a bearish sweep and then a 5 minute bullish CISD. Which I think this makes the model actually super easy to follow because you just need that 1 hour sweep first, and then you're good to go
It definitely can go without me, and I won't be having a trade, but this will protect me a lot of losses as well.
for sure. Hey Kaizen, good morning. I'll delete this. So we've traded through that daily fair value gap, and we're now back above it. So we swept that entire fair value gap, and we're now above it. We're above midnight as well. So we manipulated below midnight, and we're trading higher so far. Um, and we're in London now.
Here you go. That's why I don't chase it.
Yes. And see the this low again gets swept one more time. We're now back below midnight. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens
so
here.
basically now, look, guys, now, if it's right away but up after the sweep
Mm-hmm.
and go all close above this down close candles, then it might be like an hourly candle sweep, and now we're gonna have an order block. But here's no rush because that's what I was talking about. Like if we're closing below the loss, that's what I notice a lot. If the hourly candle able to close below the sweep loss, that's a very high potential for continuation lower.
All right, so this 1 hour candle did close again below the
Again,
lows once again. And we've now tapped this weekly array. Excuse me. It's 5 a.m. We're moving into pre-market here. And we have another scenario where we're starting to close bullishly, right? We may, if you're looking at this candle here, which for this model we are not, but if you're looking at this candle here, you can say, okay, I got the 5 minute CISD, but there would be no reason to take this trade even after tapping this until you get a confirmed 1 hour sweep. All right, so back above midnight one more time. I'm this is now a London low, FYI, for those who look at sessions.
at this point, you see how we inverse the hourly candle and about to do the or about to close, just close the hourly block. So now we do have hourly block with hourly inversion inside. So
Mm-hmm.
any sweep, bearish sweep and CISD 5 minutes, like that's gonna be my long trade. Even it seems like it's all gonna be already late, but we trade in a higher time frame PD race. That's why, yeah. We did have a order block. Yes. So any sweep, bearish sweep, CISD bullish, that's going to be a trade. And maybe it's go without me, and which is fine.
So she's not even trying to catch reversals here. She's still gonna get the meat on the bone with this type of model. All right, so we have it in. Oh well, no, we gotta. It swept the high. Yeah, it swept the high there. Mm, all right, so we're tapping this order block here, and we've
Mm-hmm.
swept this previous hour low here. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching this to see if we get a 5 minute CISD, and this also happens to be midnight at the same time. So this so far this is looking pretty nice. Don't want to play it too fast. I don't want to miss it. Okay. Uh darn. Okay.
Yeah,
So we
that's
have
painful, but it is what it is.
yeah. Well, this is the open, so maybe it comes back, but this is the CISD here. Now, Anya, can you confirm because this is obviously a bit
Yeah.
choppy here. Would you just use the entire series here or would you use
Usually, yes. So to don't not miss the trade, I will just take it earlier. But I agree
okay.
the CISD is lower,
Mhm.
but I would use this hourly CISD because it's just couple points. Why would I miss the trade if it's come back there?
Yeah, okay. So would you use yeah, would you just use this body here or would you use any other one?
Probably the high of the green candle, which is hourly CISD. Like anywhere this, like yeah, pretty much where did you put it? It's perfect.
Okay.
Because like at this point, I want hourly, basically test the previous red candle.
Okay, the body, right? So
Yeah,
technically it would be here. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We'll just use the
yeah, but that's
yeah, the highest 5 minute body
of
within
CISD,
that. Yeah,
yes,
exactly. All right.
yes.
So, let's see if it comes back now. Well, let's look at the idea first. So, this would technically be the trade idea. Oops, wrong tool. Guys, today is gonna be strictly an hour. By the way, I kind of have a lot of errands to get done. So we're only gonna stay on for an hour, no matter where we end up in reps. So 1 hour is here. 2 hours definitely hit. Let's see. Let's just see how it plays out here. Does not come back for us. So it starts to rip. Okay, yeah. So we're into the next hourly candle now. So unfortunately, this one leaves without us. But obviously, if you know, if it were to like this, if we had some sort of retracement here, this would have been a very nice trade, right? But it's simply
Yes, and plus
CISD.
I'll keep it on chart,
Mm-hmm.
this kind of area because it's never been tested
Mm-hmm.
and it's valid until it's invalid. So it can come back. I can still take short now when it starts like reversing, like if it's giving me a good setup like bullish after hitting the bearish PD ray. So I can take short, but I'm gonna watch this area to capitalize from it if price ever come back there.
Okay. Okay. So we're tapping. This is the daily volume imbalance inside of the weekly volume imbalance. I think I remember this day. I think we stay pretty high up for a while. Of course, then it starts trading bearish as soon as I say that. Oops. There's previous day high. I did add an indicator, by the way, to this layout just so that I know where previous day high and previous week high are, just so that I don't have to mark it for every session. Not that you actually need it for the model. All right, so we have okay. What is your take on the one candle CISDs? Is this valid for you, Anya?
Usually, I can take it really fast sometimes.
Yeah.
For example, if we hit really ATR and high, but usually I'm not that fast.
Okay.
Like,
No, that's great. So we'll go with series CISD instead of a one candle CISD for the back test, or do you think we should back test these?
I don't know what you more feel like, but I'm pretty sure like when I trade it, like, and when I tell you, you guys trade it, so it's 15, like end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we are pretty very high, so and those candles like swept often, and you see the how the close happen, and we have the fair value gap right below, and we like CISD of one candle, no, CISD, and right a 5 minute fair value gap.
Okay, great. Yeah, no,
PD rate.
that's a good answer. Okay, good. Um, so just time of day is basically what you're saying here. Now, in any other instance, though, would you take a one candle CISD? Like, let's say this is not time of day. Let's say this is 10 a.m. even, and we.
Yeah, so basically, for example, in this case, and as I told, like I don't use it in the criteria, it's more subjective. But in this case, probably because we're sweeping a high and we're making a CISD, right? You see this little 5 minute fair value gap?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, or this one. So if that got inversed, like I can give it a try because and at this point I'm gonna have more time to place my orders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when
Okay.
one candle happen, it's very hard for you. I'm telling you, that's why it's better not to backtest it because it's extremely hard to repeat this. Of course, when we backtest, it's a little slower, but in a real time environment, it's very hard. Like, for example, if you see this 5 minute close,
Mm-hmm.
be able to execute all these three orders and
Yep.
use risk sync and everything. So, put all the stop losses in the right place. It just a lot of mass, and I just trying to avoid it not because this is not a valid trade, because I know that in a real-time environment, it's extremely hard to execute a risk sync on the areas like this and setups like this with one candle.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that logic. Okay, so that's
It's
that.
hard to plan it because we try to plan the trade. Okay, if this closed there, then I execute my orders. But this candle's closed so fast, like right, it was bullish, and sometimes it closed bearish, like in couple seconds,
Yeah,
like
100%.
literally.
So I'm just going to put this on screen so you guys can see how this works out. But based on everything that she just said, like she would still be waiting for this inversion, right? Because price action is very very bullish, right? So although we do get the CISD here before taking entry, she would still wait for this inversion, and so that inversion technically
And
doesn't
may be
happen
able
until
to, yes, and may be able to put my orders in, and after this candle close,
yeah,
like if it give me that pullback
yeah.
at this point, so I might give it a try at that point.
All right, so no pullback into 4 p.m.
Yes.
and here we are, end of day. All right, sweet. So now let's just go back to our higher time frames and double check where we are. Make sure there's no new PD arrays to mark. So we've taken out 3 weeks of highs here. 1 week high, 2 week high, 3 week high. Of course, there's 2 week highs inside, but we've taken out 3 weeks of highs on a daily basis. Oh, sorry, that was the daily. My bad. That's 3 day highs. I think on a weekly basis we only took out previous week high, so still 3 weeks technically. So we've taken out major liquidity highs on daily and a weekly basis. On the 1 hour chart, or let's go to the 4 hour first. On the 4 hour, same thing, taking out multiple highs, and we did not close above this swing high here. So we swept it and closed back inside the range. 1 hour, same thing. We swept the high and closed back inside the range, and now we are closing below up close candles. It wouldn't technically be a 1 hour CISD until all the way down here, but we did sweep it for now, and we're above these higher time frame PD arrays, so we're above this weekly and daily volume imbalances here. Actually, sorry, in the
Because at
middle.
this point, this hourly close, I will consider as order block as well.
Okay, yeah. So this one here, this first candle here,
Mm-hmm.
this would be the OB.
Yes. Yeah. Because we closed the way how we closed below the low and the body of this candle of closed candle
Okay, sweet. So
after
now
sweep.
let's move into 1800 first. No one is trading between 1600 and 1800. I hope. Okay. So there's 1800 open. And we do have that large 1 hour fair value gap here. Gosh, sorry guys. Can't let that slide. There we go. All right, so no 1 hour sweeps yet. I'd be looking to get into this first for more upside action. We'll see how price trades into it. Okay, we're approaching it now. It's 10 a.m. at night. I mean, 10 p.m. at night. All right, so we've tapped it, and now we have a sweep. We don't confirm the CISD here. This is also another question I have for you, Anya. closing on price or closing above or below it for your.
Above price, above, always above.
Okay, sweet, great.
I want to see they were able to close above, to trade above,
Okay,
not
great.
just to wick
Not
above, but to close above.
no. So, what if you get a body right on the same exact tick? So
No,
eight.
I want to see a close.
Okay, great. So I have that
That's
same
my
rule
rule.
personally. In our previous back tests, or in all the back tests that we've done, actually, the 1 minute Q3, Adrian's 5 minute Q3, we always require a close above, not directly on the tick. Okay, this is a key detail. If it doesn't close, if it closes on the tick, even, we're going to wait. We're going to wait until we get that close above or below, for that confirmation CISD. This is some.
And you guys who was on my stream see it very a lot of time when I'm waiting for close, it close like this, and I say, no, I'm not taking it. Like you literally see it on the stream. I always, it's happened a lot of times. Sometimes it go without me, and many times it close really high, and I say, oh, I might miss the trade, and it's come back for that retest. Like I have a lot of examples of that.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna wait for this here. Okay, so we get the close above now. So we'll let this play out, but this is theoretically split into three. Our stop loss is going to be here. I'll do the full drawing when when we see how this plays out. So first we need the retest of the entry. This was the confirmation of the CISD here. So now any tap of this level tags us into the trade. We're
There
in
you go.
entry one. We are probably in entry two now. We tap this higher time frame PD array once more. And this is obviously overnight, so we're in consolidation. This is not what Anya would generally be trading. But for all of us
If I
that.
see a picture, we did it. We did this trades in the new or late New York as well, and sitting for 2 hours waiting for it to play out. So it's familiar for us.
Okay, so we got our TP for the 1R idea. Let's see if we get the 2R as well. Okay, so we're approaching London now, so this can come back on us. We're consolidating at 1R here, but hopefully it takes us at least, because there's a 1 hour fair value gap. Oh, we filled it. Okay, let's see if it comes back up to here. We do have another CISD that looks like it's about to confirm. Then it does not, of course. All right, so we do have a sweep here, right? And we've
Yeah.
tagged a 1 hour fair value gap to the low. So this is
Yes.
looking good for our 2R target. Or not, 5 a.m. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this get. I'm just gonna let this go so I can see if the 2R idea makes it or not. So we're technically still holding. There is no break even rule, so we're still holding our original stop. Okay, there we go. TP. Okay, so let me back this up really quick. Just a couple of candles here, and then I'm gonna draw this all on. Um, if you guys have questions in the meantime, feel free to ask. If you guys have questions for Anya, please ask her while she's here. I'm going to go ahead and divvy all this up for
Yeah,
our.
just this is my favorite. I love this, even if it was a little annoying with the time to TP. But you see how clean was sweep, how clean it's not one candle or anything, how clean with that order block on CSD. And we like if you wait for that like real confirmation candle and then retest, and when it works, it works.
Yes, 100%. Okay, hold on, guys. I have a new one for this. I forget. There we go. So we would have entry one and two. I'm no longer going to draw the third position on if we don't get it. So I'm just gonna go with the entries that actually occurred, instead of drawing all three, just because it's gonna be super time consuming across the entire backtest. And then I'm also going to now draw the entries together because I realize in collecting the data, this is the part that I'm messing up on. Is that I have the entries together as like entry one 1R idea, and then entry two entry 1 to our idea. And that's how I'm mixing up the data as we go to track it. So now it'll just be entry 1, entry 1, entry 2, entry 2. For those of you that care. And then we have entry 2 would be down here. Okay. 1R. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like now. So this one would get stopped out here. Oh, I can't see the other one though. Okay. We'll leave that for now. I want to just pull this down so that I can see that array. All right, so we have 4 reps here. Oops. Oh, look, Stefan, I found a new feature. Or I found a new, this is how we do it. Look, we can check full width or not to make it scrollable or not. Interesting. I never knew that. Okay.
Here you go.
Oh my gosh. This is, that's insane. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm unlocked here. Okay. So 4 reps. Rack bar is not here. He taught me how to add these cells. I forgot how. NQ. The date on this is the 12th. And is this Sunday or Monday? We take it on Monday. Sorry, guys. 2120. The next one gets entered into at 2200. So what's easy about tracking this, even though there's a lot of moving parts and reps here, is that when rep 1 gets stopped out, rep 2 gets entered into. So it's really easy to remember like that. In the previous back test, what is happening? In the previous back test, that wasn't the case, in which I would always have to click back into into the screen. So we have entry 1 taking profit at 110 and then at 8:30. So 1R at 110, 2R at 8:30. Now, this was more than likely news, I assume, at that time. So if we were trading TPT, we would have had to had closed that. Oh, no news actually, just 8:30 volatility. Great. So this is 40, 40, and 3, 0, 1, 3 hours and 10 minutes. And a lot of hours. Hold on. 23,
A lot of hours.
midnight, 1,
That's
2.
that feels so good, guys, when you leave this trade on when it's in work and go to sleep and you wake up and see that profit. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this feels so good.
It really is. This actually, guys, I always tell you guys the story, but my very first profitable model was actually also ICT's very first profitable model. It was basically just longing or shorting midnight with a stop loss above or below Asia high or low. And then you're simply aiming for previous day high or previous day low. So you basically always wait for midnight to set up first. And then once you see where midnight is in relation to Asia range, then you would take that trade and set your stops accordingly. And then you just kind of wake up to either TP or stop, right? And this is literally my first model that I got, that I passed evaluations with, that I got payouts with. And of course, like, I started to want more precision, which is why I started to evolve away from that, which is why we all evolve away from everything, right? Is because we want more. But with that being said, going to sleep and waking up to profit, this is the foundation. Or like waking up to profit or stopped out, like, that's it. You just put on the decision, set it and forget it, and you go to sleep. This is the foundation of how I trade personally. This is every model that I build from here on out is always based on the idea that I can just set it and forget it. Because if you've tested your model without some sort of trade management or stop loss trailing or anything like that from the time you get into the trade until your TP or stop loss, then there's no reason to watch it. That you just let the trade do the work. If you have some sort of invalidation built into it, where, like, okay, if I get an inversion, I'm going to close. If it doesn't close above or below the previous 5 minute, 15 hour or whatever, I'm going to close. Then you watch it. Sure, you have a reason to
And you
watch it.
stuck.
Yes.
That's why I like this R2. That's why I like to test that also 1 to 2 risk to reward idea and no stop to break even. Because if you get -1 or 2, at least more than 50%, you don't even need risk sync. Like, I mean, at this night trades, you don't even need thinking about that it's going to be stopped out. You just simply placing a trade and forgetting it, placing the risk to reward tool. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So there is definitely some beauty in not like, having a strategy for some sort of risk management. And I think this is obviously best for like your lower R trades. If you're trying to backtest a model where you have like over 5R, then that's more than likely going to be a model where you also implement some sort of trailing stop or trade management. But when you're aiming for like a 1R, a 2R, maybe even sometimes a 3R situation, you can just let it hit a TP or stop out, right? And then in this case, you don't even need to watch the trade anymore at that point. Okay, so I'm just going to recap the data to you guys just to kind of double check myself as well. This is entry one R idea, entry one 2R idea, entry one two or entry two 1R, entry two 2R, and that's depicted as such. So entry one, entry two, 1R, 2R, 1R, 2R. And then I'll just go through and check these. So we stopped out of the first two 1R or entry one ideas, and then entry two took off for that 1R profit and 2R profit, yielding 3.8R for the 1R idea and 6.8R for the 2R idea. The entire R for the model itself, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna play it past that because then we're gonna end up exposing ourselves to more PA that we don't know is going to occur yet. I'll go to 5 maybe. Let's see. Okay, so we don't hit 5, so maybe 4. Interesting. So we're like 4.5, let's say. I don't know. The might have been just shy of 5. I don't know what happened there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it was just shy of 5. Let me play one more candle. Okay, down. I'm just gonna go with 4.5 to make it super simple. So I don't have to like get into decimal points and whatnot. So this will be the max trade R idea, or the max R for the trade idea. Ooh, darn. I didn't copy the last chart. It's fine. It's fine. I normally try to do both. So this will be 4.5. Again, for those that don't that haven't been following like every session, this max R idea, this column that I'm typing in now, this is for the trade idea. This is not for every individual entry. So the way you would use this information is you would refer to this chart where I've split every single idea into the thirds idea of risk thinking. So a 4R to 5R idea would yield 15R from entry 1, 16R from entry 2, and 17R from entry 3. So whatever our average ends up being, or whatever the R was for that, the max R was for that trade idea specifically, then you just refer to that chart. I think there's only one idea here. This one was a 15R trade. So this is the only one that's not listed here, but obviously that would be like a crazy return. So the notes on this one, I would say this is actually like a super A plus setup because we had the sweep right inside of that 1 hour PD array. Um, and that's really it. We had the sweep right after that PD array. When we close this candle, let's see, let me confirm. Okay, yeah. This I mentioned in the previous session as well, is that when we get the confirmation of the CISD and you almost like flip the hourly open at the same time, this is what I find to be the most A plus setup, is when this usually will occur in one singular candle where you're confirming the CISD and you're flipping that hourly open. So the hourly open on this previous candle
Yeah,
was actually
I love
here.
it.
Yeah, so the CISD and that open are pretty much at the same exact level. So it flips it right away. It comes back for the retest of its own open. Obviously wicks it one more time into the bodies of this candle, or into the wicks of this, excuse me, candle, and then takes off. So this is a super super clean setup.
Yeah,
And then
that's why before I had this criteria that already open, and that's also was A plus plus setup.
mm-hmm.
I removed it later because I just miss a lot of trades. But when I see like this one CISD match in the early open, after the sweep into the PD ray, I'm literally just holding those trades,
Yeah,
like just holding them without any hesitation.
there I didn't put it in the notes apparently, but there's a rep somewhere in here. I'll find it at some point. I guess I didn't leave a note here neither, but there's a rep here where the 5 minute CISD occurs like way 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 up. And I wanted to show it to you. I'll find it
Okay.
off screen or whatever,
Yeah,
but
send me to DM.
yeah. But yeah, that's a really good setup that I wanted to see, just to make sure that that is a setup that you would take as well. Guys, so there is 7 minutes left in the session here. I do have to leave promptly at 1 today. I can leave this open for Q&A, or we can try to get through more price action. Your guys' call. Nice, Coz. Okay, no one's talking. So I'm going to just play through. We have 8:30. I think we can at least make it to New York Open then. So this again is the daily volume imbalance. This is actually the top of the weekly volume imbalance here. And we've just had we don't have any 8:30 news actually. That was just 8:30 volatility. And that's, to be clear, that's red folder news. We have a failure swing here. This is not a sweep, but it is a failure swing. And then we still do have this might actually have a new one. We have a new 1 hour fair value gap right here. This guy that we're inside of now. And then I think there was like also another, yeah, this one, this big one below us. Okay, so we tapped this one more time. We're below midnight. We've swept all Asia and London lows. And mind you, we've already taken previous day high. So again, this is not part of the model. This is just a statistic across all statistics. When you take one side of the range, when you've already taken previous day high or you've already taken previous day low, 80% chance or probability that you're going to stick with that side, right? If it's a 10% chance that you're going to be an inside day. So since we've already tagged previous day high, we've knocked that 10% out. But it becomes an 18 to 22% chance that we will tag the other side, right? So, meaning since we swept previous day high already, there's only an 18 to 22% chance that we're also going to tag previous day low. So, Friday's low, oh wait, Monday's low. We're in Tuesday's price action. Yeah, so Monday's low is down here. So we're probably at like 50% of the range, right? So unless we lose this 1 hour fair value gap, I would be sticking with upside. So just keep that in
Yeah.
mind. Like you're not always looking for a reversal off of highs and lows or whatever. I think a lot of us tend to be reversal traders naturally, but just keep in mind this is a stat against just like all statistics, not any particular model, right? So just all highs and lows or whatever, and this was provided to us by Cozy. So yeah, we've at this point we've swept previous day high. We're closing below 1 hour fair value gaps, and we're now inside of this bigger one hour fair value gap. So again, if we lose this, that's when I would be really interested in shorts. But in the meantime, I would be sticking with like your long bias basically. Okay. Say all that to say, all right, so we have a sweep here. Okay, this is actually an
Yeah.
example. Yeah. We have a sweep here, right? And then we have that 5 minute CISD down here. So because this candle confirms as a sweep, we can take this 5 minute CISD. Is that correct, Anya?
No.
Oh,
In this
okay.
point, I see the price a little bit different as we hit that previous day high,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Was it 8 9 a.m. candle?
Mm-hmm.
So what I see here that the previous candle at 10 a.m. closed below the low of 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and technically inverse the hourly fair value gap, this one.
Yes, yes. Okay, great.
So
Perfect.
if the price come back, so now I can see potential short from this hourly order block. Even we didn't have a sweep above from that inversion, I can see potential short.
Okay,
So I do,
so
yeah.
sorry. Let's remove that other context though, because my question is really about the sweep and the 5 minute CISD. So, yes, I agree with all the other narrative here, right? But my particular question in this instance is the 5 minute CISD is occurring way down here before the sweep is confirmed, right? So, like, for
Uh,
example, the sweep occurs here, right? I think we did sweep this
yeah,
low.
but that sweep is not because this complicated sweep because we sweep in the previous one, but you see the previous hourly we actually closing below it with inversion of hourly fair value gap
I
below
see.
this. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, got you. So, because even though this 5 minute CISD is confirmed before the sweep, you wouldn't take the setup. Like,
Yeah.
okay, great. All right, good. Okay, so I think that was I have to find that other setup because this is an occurrence that we're seeing where this CISD can happen way below here. And
Hmm.
let's say we swept all these lows, right? And then when it closes, it does confirm the sweep. Like let's say this candle low is this one. Like let's say this candle doesn't exist, and the previous candle ends up being this one here, and we do close above it, right? Would that case be a scenario where you take that 5 minute CISD? Like if the most previous candle was
Yeah,
closed
like
above.
it's probably in this case if it was lower maybe, but because I feel like this order block, the hourly one,
Mm-hmm.
the 8 a.m. Open
Mm-hmm. Oh, this
could
one.
be a resistance, right?
Yeah.
Because it's up close candle and we like right away push below, and while candle was not still closed, So I have a very high chance that this 10 a.m. candle will close and make an early fair value gap. Or not
Right.
fair value, order block.
Okay, so this is with the you're answering that question with the idea of removing this 9 a.m. candle, right? Because what I'm asking is like, okay, let's say we have a candle here. Let's say this is the previous candle, right? And then I
Mhm.
don't know, we have all these other candles here. And then our current candle comes down and sweeps it, right? And then we get our 5 minute CISD down here, but this candle has yet to close, right? This current candle has yet to
Uh-huh.
close. And but then when we do get the closure, it does close above the lows, right? But because the
Mhm.
CISD is occurring before that sweep is confirmed, would you take this trade? This one down here.
If the strong PD rate below, yes, probably right, yes.
Okay.
So when I see it like
Okay,
because
cool.
it's more like subjective like experience on this particular trade and it might work. But
Yeah.
yes, in this case that you just draw like if it's raw thinking about the thing, yes, I agree because PD raise there, sweep is happening, uh, and trade confirming, you gotta take it even you see that it might be a loss
Okay,
with
sweet.
whatever experience you have.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. No, yeah, because this is what I'm seeing a lot where that CISD can kind of happen in that bottom of that wick before the sweep is actually confirmed. So, like, let's say this candle closes up here, it does close below all these lows. Again, just forgetting that this candle is here, right? Let's say there is no fair
Mhm.
value gap here, but it closes below all
Yes,
these
in this
lows.
case,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, sweet.
But
Um,
in if it would be like this, I agree with you. But in this case, for example, if we have this order blocks and hourly fair value gap, I want an hourly sweep and make a CAZ right now. But the way how the hourly closed below their hourly fair value gap, like
mm-hmm,
basically
mm-hmm.
inversed it and kind of approach to close below the order block, that just like the picture itself like making iffy. But I agree with you that yes, in if we ignore that red candle, the 9 a.m. candle,
Yes.
I definitely will use it as a manipulation to go higher.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, this is again specifically with this 5 minute CIC happening before the sweep occurs. Okay, guys, I do have to end the session here. I will leave a big thick line here so that we know that this is where we left off. I will be back on tomorrow at midnight, tomorrow at noon, weather permitting. And then if I can hop on anytime before or after that, I will just add everyone. But yeah, guys, sorry BNB, I have to go. Peace, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, Anya, for being here.
Thank you very much, Jess, for your reward.
My pleasure. Bye, guys.